So guys, this is Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition on the PC. You can get it for £35. I've seen it at that price on Green Man Gaming. If you want to support the channel, you can grab it there by clicking the link in the description, or it's £40 on Steam. But either way, it's a hell of a lot cheaper than the £50 I paid for it when I was reviewing it for the PlayStation 4. Not only that, you get way more game for your money because you get the expansion and the DLCs. So you're paying less and getting a lot more than you did when you played this on the console, if you did play this on the console. But I didn't like it when it was on the console. When I reviewed it, it didn't do anything for me. It just felt so poor, and I thumbed this game down. It wasn't a bad game, but it was just the usual console kind of tick-boxing bullshit of rolling around the floor, shooting yellow glowy things, totally disjointed game mechanics such as stealth and things like that. So it didn't appeal to me one little bit. Now that it's on the PC, have I changed my mind at all? Well, before we get into that, let's have a quick look at how the port has come over from console to PC. Now, loads of people are having issues with this game. It's actually doing poor on Steam review-wise, purely because of the bad port of this game. A lot of people can't even play it, which sucks. I mean, you go to work, you work your ass off, you earn your money, you buy your game, you just want to kick back and enjoy the game, and you can't because the developers haven't tested it properly. It's not optimized properly, so people's games are crashing. They're getting huge frame drops. It's just not acceptable for a game of this price. It's just not. It's just lazy and horrible. But I have to say, I've hardly had any issue with my game. I haven't had a single crash at all playing the game, and I've played the game pretty much solid now for 2 days. I've got way further into the game on the PC than I did when I was playing this on the PlayStation 4. So I'm well into the game. I have tested it pretty much mostly on 1080p VSync on 60 frames a second locked, purely for editing reasons for when I render. But I did switch all that off and put it to 1440p unlimited frames VSync off, just to see how the game would handle that. And my report is thus, guys. In 1440p with unlimited frames and VSync off, it ran like a Frisian cow having intermittent fucking heart attacks, guys, because the frames would suddenly go up and then they would suddenly drop down again, especially when I was in a city, turning and running around in a city. I was getting really bad frame drops. Then after a while, once it had kind of loaded in all the textures, it ran a lot better, but it was still noticeable, the frame drops. Putting it down to 60 frames a second 1080p, hardly a stutter, guys. Just a couple of little stutters now and then that was so fast that you didn't really notice. Nothing like what it was running in 1440p, where you would get an absolute hold up of the game, just like about a second and a half to 2 seconds of freezing, which is just unacceptable, guys. I'm running a 2080 i9. I shouldn't have had any issues in 1440p or 1080p. So clearly this is a very lazy, horrible, unoptimized port, guys. Needs fixing. As for the game, have I changed my mind? What I will say on the positive side, I'm having way more fun in the game now than I ever did on the PlayStation 4, and that's purely down to the fact that I don't have to use a controller. Controllers are just shite, let's be honest. I mean, you know, you can't really argue with that. Controllers for any game that's either first or third person, a controller's shit. It's just nowhere near as good as a mouse and keyboard. It's almost like we've gone back in time. You know, we invented the mouse and keyboard before we invented a controller, and it's one of the few things in history where somebody thought, I know, I'm going to invent this. It's way worse than a mouse and keyboard. Everybody will love it. So yes, I'm enjoying it because you can aim really fast and really accurate. So I'm having fun in that sense, but all the usual bollocks is still there for this game. You've got the bad story, the really horrible voice for each character in the game. I mean, sometimes the protagonist, who's this ancient tribe girl, sounds like a fucking California Valley girl half the time. It's just awful, really awful. The story, it's getting a little bit more interesting as we find out what Horizon Zero Dawn is, but it's just still crap. But guys, the things that really stand out is the disjointed mechanics that this game has. For example, climbing. all you do is push the forward arrow and spam the spacebar, and you will climb everything. I don't even know where the hell she's going half the times. She just climbs up and leaps from here to there, here to there, here to there, up there, climb that a bit, leap over there, and I don't know where the f she's going. Then all of a sudden she'll reach the top, and there's a guy, "Hi there, I'm pleased you've come and seen me." And I said, what the f is this? The game's doing everything for you. You haven't a fucking clue what you're doing. You're just pushing forward and spamming a button, and the game makes you look like you're the next best fucking action hero. It's bullshit. And anyone who feels any satisfaction at all doing that is completely disjointed with fucking reality, because you haven't done a damn thing. The game's done it. And that brings me on to the stealth. You can sit in a bush that's like the size of a fucking fat man's ass, you know, and your head and shoulders are sticking out of it, your weapon's sticking out of it, and the daft walk past and they're like, "Yeah, nothing to report on the west side of the camp except for a little fucking bush with this strange woman's head and shoulders sticking out that I'm gonna pretend not to fucking notice." There's loads more stuff like this, guys. Like, some of the combat is just so poor when you can just go up and just, it makes no sense. You can jump out of a bush with your spear and just one-shot pretty much everybody, unless the chief comes along. The chief, because does the chief have special armor on? No, he has no fucking armor. He has a stupid hat, a bare chest and some raggy pants. But for some reason, you can't jump out of a bush and stab him with your spear. Do you know why, guys? Because you need a perk for that. You need a perk for that. What the fuck? A perk. Yes, you need the perk, Mac. You need to go and spend some perk points so that you can leap out of a bush against the leader. So, right, get past all the bullshit, and this game is full of it, guys. I could write a fucking novel on the amount of bullshit in this game. But let's get past all of that. Let's get past all of that and just disconnect your brain. What's it like if you do that? If you do that, guys, it's fun. I'm having fun in the game, and I never had fun at all in the PlayStation version. I'm running around the world, murdering things, taking stuff down, doing crazy slow motion slidey arrow shots, really enjoying the killing the wildlife and expanding my pouches and stuff. Reminds me of the Far Cry 3 crafting. Very, very basic, where you just killing. It's way more. It's not as good as Far Cry 3, the actual crafting system. It's like a dumbed down Far Cry 3 crafting, but nevertheless, you know, you craft your ammos, and I'm just a sucker for games with bow and arrows, guys. I always have been, and I always will be. I just love the bow and arrow. I just do. And this game has a bow and arrow. Now, it's not like Kingdom Come Deliverance where you need skill to fire it. This is just the dumbest down bow and arrow firing, but sometimes, you know, it's fun to just have a game like that is just brainless. And this game is brainless. It's not great, it's not amazing, it's not groundbreaking. It's a dumbed down bow and arrow, slide across, rolling across the floor like a complete fucking prick, avoiding everything and shoot the glowy things on all the big fucking monsters kind of game. But saying that, guys, I am having fun because, hey, I had exceptionally low expectations of this game, having played the shit out of it on the PlayStation 4. And I have had fun, and I'd be lying if I said that I haven't had fun. I've had fun with this game, and I'm probably going to go back to it because it's mindless fun. And I'm going to thumb it up now. Not because it's a great game, but because I think for the price that it's at now, and for what you get for 35 bills, guys, you're getting a lot of game. You've just got to leave your brain at the door. There's no room for your brain in this game, other than when you're placing traps and setting up ways to kill some of the more awkward machines. And another thing that you really do need to do on the PC, without a shadow of a doubt, is bang it up to hard. I haven't gone on to very hard, but moving from medium to hard made the game way more enjoyable. Because it does then add an element of risk. I was just breezing it too easy on normal. So bang it up to hard, leave your brain at the door, and then you may enjoy it, because I certainly have.